What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh,
Period.
I just want to start off by saying that today is March 30th, right? My birthday is in approximately 1 month and 14 days.
Okay.
So I was not able to celebrate my birthday for real last year. We did go to the park, but so this year I plan on turning up. Also, I'm gonna have I'm not too ashamed to ask for gifts or generous donations, as I call them. So I definitely will have like all my different platforms of sending money. I'm gonna post it. I am that person. I don't have cash.
You know what? I commend you because I be too ashamed. I'm like, because 1 year I got like almost $100 off my cat, and I ain't even have nearly as many followers as I got now. But I was like, I ain't gonna do it. But somebody actually sent me $35, not unsolicited. It's somebody who I always be sending little random stuff to. But I'm like, dang, maybe I should put my cash up. I don't know.
Put it up. I'm telling you, you blocking your blessings, queen.
No, that's what's up though. Yeah, your birthday is right around the corner. All we gotta do is get through April. We ain't even in April yet. You already talking about your birthday. Dang.
We in Aries season. Anytime Aries season, because I don't really know no Aries, and Aries don't really count.
All right. Well, happy early birthday. And when the time comes, we'll wish you another one. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start the episode off with the Black Business of the Week. Now, this business in particular, I have not patronized just yet, but I have heard good things about them. And I also learned of them from another podcast. And once I run out of these items, I will be trying them out. But it's called True Laundry Detergent. The Instagram is The True Products. They specialize in plant-based laundry products. Okay, y'all. They have laundry detergent. They have fabric softener. You name it. Check out their Instagram. It's The True Products, and then their website is thetrueproducts.com. Like I said, it is Black owned. Clearly, I wouldn't even be talking about them if they wasn't. But I heard about them on the Friend Zone podcast. And as soon as I run out of laundry detergent on my end, because I bought a whole bunch, sometimes Target be like, buy 3, get a $10 gift card. So I bought 3, and I'm like, I'm never gonna not need laundry detergent. So when I run out, I will try out this company.
Me, anytime I see a deal, because I think I went to Kroger one time randomly. And I normally don't buy products like that from Kroger, but they had like this sale on toothpaste, and I use Arm & Hammer toothpaste, and it was like 99 cents for the big thing of toothpaste. I got about 10 of them.
Yeah, as you should. I've been using my friend Sam Club membership. I'm talking about I ain't never gonna be out of deodorant no time soon. No gummies, no like stuff that you literally need for the rest of your life. It only makes sense. Just get all of it. Now, obviously, if it can expire, you don't want to do that. But a lot of that stuff you can have for a long time.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a try. I do have a lot of laundry detergent because right before I moved in, Walgreens had that same sale. And it was like you get 3 bottles of I also use Arm & Hammer laundry detergent. So the one that I use, which is the OxyClean one, that one was on sale.
Oh, I love OxyClean. Let me tell you something. I got a terrible stain on myself just by spraying the OxyClean. I ain't have to follow up with nothing else. I just sprayed it, blinked my eyes, and it was gone.
Let me tell you something about that. Don't sleep on Dollar Tree. Let me tell you about that awesome spray that they sell. That
awesome is that girl. That's what the cleaning people be using when I used to work in retail. The cleaning people used to always have this big awesome concentrate, and they would mix it with their mop water and be A1.
Awesome literally cleans everything. Like I have carpet in my living room, unfortunately, and whenever my friend, she brought her baby over to my house to get her makeup done, and the little girl was eating Skittles, and in my head I said, "This ain't gonna end well. I already feel it," and I was just like trying to watch her and do makeup at the same time, but I'm like, let me just hurry and get her out of here.
Yeah.
Long story short, girl had blue Skittles all on my couch. She had blue Skittles on my carpet. And I literally sprayed it with that awesome spray and just wiped it from the carpet and the couch, and it came off.
I'm surprised you don't have a no kids policy.
See, this was like one of my friends. So
I gotcha.
I bend the rules a little bit, but obviously you can bend the rules for your friends because
that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Let's move on to shop talk.
Man, y'all already know what we finna talk about. We finna talk about that Lil Nas X video.
Yes. So what? Go ahead. Tell the people what your feelings is looking like.
I hate that I'm the only gay person on this podcast, so I have to automatically start it off.
What the freak that supposed to mean? I'm an ally.
I don't believe in those.
Oh, say less.
I'm just playing. So I think that everybody at this point knows that Lil Nas X has a background of trolling. He can't. That's just how he was introduced to the internet. I mean, a lot of us didn't know him prior to him becoming a music artist, but before that, he was an internet troll. He had like different accounts trolling. So I don't think that nothing has changed. Like this is just his way of coping through life. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that just genuinely are funny, and that's just how they go through life. They make jokes about everything. But this particular song was very serious because he was explaining how he was in a really bad relationship with somebody who wasn't out, quote unquote. And I don't know if they weren't out, but she was trying to keep him a secret. This was recent. This was like last year. He was trying to keep him a secret. He didn't want to go public with it. And the guy was on drugs. He was doing cocaine and all that stuff. So the song,
he say all that in the song.
He did.
Dang, I do not understand music.
But I listened to him talk about it prior to the song coming out. And so he was just saying how like this song is just him expressing himself, from that situation, and how like it just kind of triggered a lot of extra trauma from his childhood, because he had to basically hide who he was as a kid because of his family's religious beliefs, and saying that, if you're gay, they probably noticed him doing like some gay stuff or noticed that he was a little, how it is. And as he was a child, it would be like, it's abomination to be gay. If you're gay, you go to hell, blah, blah, blah. So he had that in his head the whole time, as he's growing up, because he knew he was gay. He knew that he liked men, but he just couldn't really express himself and do that because in the back of his head, he felt like he was going to go to hell. Now, fast forward to today. He's 100% comfortable. It stands in his truth. Now, the video that he just came out with, of course, I think that everybody is really going crazy because of the image of Satan in the video. I think that that's just dumb because, for one, you don't know. I see so many people dressing up as she devils and devils and stuff like that for Halloween, and I honestly don't really see a difference because he was really trolling in that video, like giving the devil a lap dance and all this other stuff. But the meaning behind it was, if you're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm gonna go to hell for being gay and go to hell for the stuff that I've done, and then at this point, fuck it. I mean, I'll just go to hell. I mean, he probably don't really mean that shit, but
yeah, but it's like, this is who I am. So if I'm gonna go anyway for being gay, why you even worried?
Yeah. So I just feel like the internet just loves to bring in religion when it has something to do with being gay. And I don't think that's fair because it's so many different sins out here. We have pastors who preach the gospel and are freaking child molesters. We have domestic situations where people beat on each other. We have people that gamble their money. They go to casinos and stuff all the time, and they also gamble online. We have virtual prostitutes, aka OnlyFans, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm just saying that's basically what it is. You're getting money in exchange for sexual acts online. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many different things. I mean, eating pork,
Masturbation, premarital sex, having a child outside of marriage, cursing, drinking, smoking, not praying, lying, stealing.
So what?
Being greedy.
Yeah, a gluttony.
Yeah.
Is
killing.
My thing is, I don't understand why anytime it has something to do with being gay, that people just always have to come slap you upside your head with.
Right. It's like, that is, of all the sins, that's one of the ones that don't bother nobody.
No, I mean, it's literally minding your business. Like, honestly, being gay or being homosexual has something to do with sexual acts in the bedroom, or, you know what I'm saying? Why are you in people's business?
It frustrated me. I definitely, so when I saw the video, I swear to God, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, oh, okay, I did think it was weird, but as far as creativity, not because of the satanic part. But when I get on Twitter, I'm like, I know you are lying to me.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the devil has been used in so many forms of entertainment in general, and I should have got a list of all the examples before we even started talking about it, but it just was so crazy to me, and I don't see where people get devil worshiping out of that. Like, it just didn't make sense. Now I will say the shoes is where I draw the line, only because of the image it insinuates, like the 1% of blood and all that. And I don't think that I could ever walk around wearing something with any symbolism of the devil. But even then, if I don't like it, I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even something that's serious. And like you said, Lil Nas X is known for trolling. Every single thing that he has done to be successful was a result of him doing something to get attention off of it. And he's mastered it. And it's working every time. That video had 35 million views in less than a day. And it's just crazy to me. And people, it's just crazy how people pick and choose what sin is the worst and which one y'all want to call folks out on when y'all living in sin. And we all are living in sin every single day. And it's just not up to you to even be placing somebody on where their final destination is. It just was so crazy. And I'm like, don't look at the video. Don't buy the shoes. Like, it's just so crazy to me. It's just
now with the shoe thing, I think that because of the context of it, and then it just came out right after the video. I think that people was just like, oh hell no, like this is just too much. But I have an example. You ever seen like people make candles or face sprays and they say this face spray is made with 100% boys' tears that they cried. Do you think it's made with tears for real?
Yeah, well, no, you're right. And I don't think it's actual blood, but I saw a YouTuber review the shoes. He got a pair, and he was just talking about how looking at it made him nauseous. I'm like, then they must have really tried to make it look like blood, and I don't think I'll be okay with that. It's kind of,
yeah, that's what I'm
even
saying.
then.
People do that on Halloween. They put blood on their body.
Literally, oh my God.
Like, it's just so many different things that people like. I don't know. I really hate it. And I really wish people would let this narrative go that their kids can't.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. I'm glad. And then who was that he called out the other day? Who was that artist? Nas X was like, listen, in Old Town Road, I talked about drinking lean and having an affair. And that's what I'm like, clear it out. Clear it out, niece. Exactly. Y'all don't even, the song sound fun, but it's not even a childish. I'm sure his intent was not to be an artist to kids. Kids like things that are catchy, fun, and vibrant. That is not that man's responsibility to be raising your child. It's like, well, you need to be having them on YouTube Kids then.
Okay.
But anyway, we don't spend a lot of time on this topic. Long story short, y'all need to mind your business, okay? All right. Next up on the list, Carisha mama just got out of prison.
Hey.
Welcome home, Kenya. I don't know her, but they look just alike, so I feel like I do. I can't even imagine being somebody that end up in prison for whatever the reason is, and then their child literally like hold it down while I'm out. Because Carisha was talking about when her mama went in, she was left with 2 kids and her son, and she was in her early 20s. She was like 22. And then her mother goes to prison however many years later, and then boom, they millionaires. I think that's fine. That's amazing.
It also, and then I know even when it was going on, I didn't really think about it that deep, but I never realized like the stuff that she had to go through, like especially with her group member being in jail, and she had to just hold it down on her own, on top of taking care of her sister and her little brother, and being pregnant.
Yeah.
And her mama in jail too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot. I didn't realize that all that was going on, and then on top of that, her son's father died.
Yes. Oh my God.
All of this. So it's like. And I was just thinking about that other day. I'm like, honestly, I don't think that I will be able to handle that because there's so much.
And then, mind you, all this going on and people dragging her on the internet, calling her dumb. They really was not here for her when JT went to prison. And it's just, like I was telling you earlier, it's just so fire how Carisha just kind of like turned around. Like, she didn't care what people had to say. And then her literally becoming the favorite for most people.
Yeah.
Here for it. Yeah, so I just want to shout out to Kenya. Next, I want to talk about something that just happened today. There was a video release of Quavo and Saweetie tussling in the elevator. What's interesting though, when I first saw the video, I saw it on Gossip in the City, and it shows Quavo slinging her on the floor in the elevator, and then her trying to like get off the elevator and him blocking her. But then I go to TMZ where there's a clip that's slightly longer, but in the very beginning, you see Saweetie swinging on Quavo. And then I saw it on the Shade Room and Neighborhood Talk. And the first thing I want to say before even getting into this topic is I really don't understand why the blogs didn't post the whole video, because it was only about a minute and a half. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, the video is very short, so it can definitely be posted on Instagram. But number two, it really does paint Quavo out to be an abuser, because when I first saw the video, I'm like, what in the world? What's going on? I don't like that. Like, why is he doing her like that? And then I see the video on TMZ where she's like swinging on him and all this other stuff. And not that this takes away any responsibility on Quavo's end, but I think it's very important to show as much as you can show in this situation, because it's not like he just randomly threw her on the floor of the elevator. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, and this is, I'm not here for abusers on either end, from the woman or from the man, but I just am curious to know, what was he supposed to do to get her to stop hitting him?
Yeah.
And I think that it's very damaging how the blogs reported this story, because it's like, even if they come back and clear it up with the full video, it's already painting Quavo as being like an abuser. And that's not cool. I don't think that's okay. We already have that issue enough in the Black community. I think it's just negative and very poorly tasted to put that narrative out there like that, when y'all have the place y'all got the video from has that in the video.
Child, they already making the think pieces online.
I seen it on Twitter, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna get into this because I'm gonna look like I'm caping for domestic violence. But you know, I think that this just goes to show again why y'all should not be idolizing these couples. Whole time y'all want them to be our couples goals, and this was going on behind the scenes. And I'm sure it ain't the only time. I'm sure there's been other occasions. They just so happen to have it on camera, but it's not cool. Hitting anybody in a relationship, to me personally, is not okay, period, from the man or the woman, or if it's lesbian or gay relationship, whatever. But the reason why I brought that up is because I wanted to ask you if you have ever been in a toxic relationship or even abusive relationship.
I've never been in necessarily a abusive relationship, but toxic relationship, yes. And the thing is, it wasn't even a relationship; it was like a situationship. We weren't in a relationship. We weren't like officially dating, but from the beginning, our relationship was really toxic. Like, it caused like a breakup in one of my friendships. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, I think that we just used to argue so much, and then like it was just very like one-sided. But I was so. Let me just tell you a scenario. So apparently, when we first started dating or talking, he was living with his boyfriend. Okay. So he told me that he was single and he had a roommate. So I went to go visit him. And when I got there, I was outside talking to him in front of his apartment. His boyfriend had got there and saw us and just kind of like was looking at us. And I guess he texted him and was like, "Oh, this is my homeboy," or something. And the boy,
did you know the boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
So he was like, "Yeah, that's my roommate," or whatever. So I didn't think nothing of it. It came out years later. He told the truth. He was like, "Yeah, I actually was dating that person." After I told him, like I felt it. I said something in my spirit is just telling me that that's not your roommate.
Yeah, I'm sure you could tell just by the contact on when he got a car.
Yeah. So he was like, "Oh no, and it was like that." Of course. I found out that he was using drugs, like hard drugs. This was the end of us. This was the end of us. Like, it was so much that happened before this part, but this is just where I drew the line. Mm-hmm. So we went to a bar. Like he wanted to go out and just chill. So we found a bar that had like hookah and drinks. So we ended up going there, and ironically, one of my friends was the bartender. So when we got to the door, we were, about to get pat down for ID check. And the girl who was at the front, she was a little bit aggressive, but I mean, in my opinion, anybody that's a security guard is aggressive. Like,
yeah, they are
going inside of a bar or something, they're a little bit aggressive. So it wasn't really like something that bothered me, but he didn't like the way that she was handling me, I guess, and he burnt her with a cigarette. Because he was like smoking a cigarette.
Excuse me?
And he took it and literally burnt her on the arm. Like,
I don't stepped on a lit cigarette before, and baby, it ain't for the weak.
In my head, I'm like, we're not gonna be able to get in here. I'm like, let's just go. And he like, no, we finna go in here. What are you doing?
What? So y'all just supposed to go in like nothing ain't just happened?
He literally pushed her to the side, and we went in there and sat at the bar.
No,
So-
man, I would have been looking around every 5 seconds, make sure security ain't coming to escort us out. What she do?
They were arguing for a little minute, but I mean, she's a woman. Like, whether she was a lesbian or not, like,
No, I'm just saying, how does she handle the situation? Him burning her, because that's assault.
yeah, they argued. She didn't do too much. They didn't, you know.
Oh wow, okay.
So we sat down, and I was talking to my friend, and I was just letting her know, like, I was like, I need to leave here. Like, I feel so uncomfortable. Like, he already fucking up my vibe, but he's mad at me because I don't want to be there no more. So
Which is crazy because, sir, you just burned someone with a cigarette. First of all, you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes with your nasty stinking behind. But go ahead.
So then he apologized, of course. So then he bought us drinks, and then I'm still not wanting to be there, but I'm just talking to my friend at this point because, you know, I'm in here with her. And this is a bar that's like it wasn't gay. It wasn't a gay bar, but I'm not really ashamed of being out in public, especially at a straight bar. But I also know that in certain neighborhoods, it's not safe for me to be showing PDA to another guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that shit is just gonna just go left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
So he was trying to like hug on me at the bar, and I said something like, just chill out, like this, whatever. And so he was like, no. He was just like, no, I mean, I'm not doing that. So another one of my friends came in there, which is her friend, and we all started talking. So he's being aggressive to the girl that just walked up. He's like, I'm just not understanding. You need to tell him that he need to be with me. And she's listening to him, and she's trying to help him understand. The whole time she's talking, he pulls out a bag of cocaine, and he takes his phone, and he's like crushing up the bag of cocaine.
Okay, no.
On the table. Keep in mind,
he smokes cigarettes and do cocaine.
Keep in mind, I have never seen him do anything besides smoke weed. I didn't even know he smoked cigarettes. But the cigarette thing makes sense because most people that do cocaine or do something like that, they always smoke cigarettes to kind of keep the high up. So I'm like, because I didn't know he smoked cigarettes. So
right.
After that, I was just like, we got to get out of here. Because we're in a public place and you're doing this, and then I didn't know that you did this, and it's just such a
right. I'm learning a lot about you off us just trying to go get some drinks.
Yeah, and mind you, this is like 2.5 years in, on and off.
Oh
this
my God.
Yeah, this is a lot. Like, and so I dropped him off at home, and I just told him, I was like, "What's that about?" He was like, "I didn't even do it. It's still in my thing. It's still in my pocket." And I said, but the thing is, you do it. And I said, that's something that you should tell people. I said, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I'm not judging you about it, but I just personally know that drugs really do change people's perspective, and it can kind of alter your thoughts sometimes. And I just need to be prepared. I just don't know why you didn't tell me this. And he was like, and he literally took the bag and threw it out the window. He was like, I won't even do it. How about that? And I was like, but you do it.
It's
like,
giving sociopath. You want to go pick that up, first of all.
He was trying to kick it to me like this was his first time doing it or something. Like, I don't know. It was just really crazy. It was traumatizing to just see that in front of my face. I hated it. Like, and that was like one of the only, whatever, it was the second one. I had the other one too, but that was just a shortened version of my
now
relationship.
Was there other behaviors that y'all had amongst each other though in that relationship, like arguing or certain stuff that was not healthy?
We argued a lot. We did. But I think that mostly for the most part, his problem was that he didn't like my friend. They went to high school together. He didn't like my friend. So anytime he would see us out together, he would either text us from like an anonymous number and say stuff like, "Look at Dumb and Dumber."
What you mean? Who was he talking about?
Me and my friend. He would always say that I was dumb because I ended up going back to be his friend. But I'm like, well, this is my friend. I met him before I even met you. And the only reason we're not friends is because of you. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up getting back cool. So he didn't like that. He didn't want him around me at all. So whenever he would see us out in public, he would like spy on us. Like, we used to go to, it got to a point where I couldn't even shop at the quote unquote good Walmart by my house.
Okay. That Walmart is not good, but I understand.
North Decatur Road.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about, okay, my bad.
Yeah, I couldn't even shop at the good Walmart by my house because I was so scared that I was gonna run into him. Because every time I go up there, he would be there. Because we kind of lived in the same area.
Yeah.
And so this one time we went there and he didn't even care. Like he said, okay, this time I don't care. I'm walking up to them. So he walked up to us and he said, I'm gonna try to be. He said this to my friend first. He said, I'm gonna try to be nice to you. Let's just be an adults. He was like, hello, how are you? How you doing? And my friend was just like, not doing that. So he was just like, hi, how are you? And um it just went left. They started arguing in the store. He started like
I don't do that.
chasing him, like trying to fight him in the store, like all type of stuff. He was mad at me because I wouldn't like hug on him in front of the boy. He was like, "Are you trying to act in front of him? This is what's gonna piss me off." Like it was crazy. I met his mom, I met his grandma, his granddad. So in my head, I'm thinking that this is gonna go somewhere. But
Honey, don't trust them. I'm sure you know that now, but
yeah,
it
like
ain't
that.
nothing to be nice to somebody.
Yeah, like he definitely introduced me to his whole family, his sisters. I did his sister's makeup for prom. Like we took like group pictures of her prom. I went to his grandma's birthday party, met his granddad. And then at one point in time, he said that he was gonna go to the army. So he was he was telling his grandma, like, once he get good and settled, he wanted to get married in the army. He wanted to marry me and all this other stuff. It was just a lot. Very, very toxic. Just the thought of it is very triggering. Like, it's bad. And I think that the part that I really hate about relationships like that is that when you're going through it, you know that it's wrong, but then like my brain for some reason just wanted to go back to him because
And
I'm
that's
like,
exactly what I was about to say. What made you like keep pursuing it, especially if it was a situationship? And it's not me trying to shame you. I'm genuinely like
yeah,
interested in knowing like why would you keep?
I don't know because I mean even because I think that what it was that when we had good times, we had really good times, and the good times outweigh the bad. Of course, I'm sure that's like something that everybody always says. That sounds so cliche, you know what I'm saying? But I mean that was true. Like whenever we were around each other and we were having good times, like our conversations were just different, and we enjoyed each other's company. And like, like I said, at one point in time, I thought that we were going to go somewhere just because he introduced me to his family. I never had nobody do that to me before willingly,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like he must really take me serious. His mom loves me. His mom calls me you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, his mom was like, would like call me, check up on me. Then of course I met his grandparents and his
She
sister.
probably calling for him. Where he at? Let me just see.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I can make sure my baby can go enjoy his date.
I just didn't know, like, it was just good. So, in my head, I'm like, everybody all got their little,
Yeah, you start convincing yourself it's not that bad.
yeah, I'm like, everybody has their way. So, should I just deal with it and just kind of like work around it and just try to help him find himself and just help him be a better person? But
One thing I had to learn is you cannot help somebody be a better person. They have to make that decision themselves. And if you dealing with it, then that means every person before you dealt with it as well. And we very grown. We grown enough to have been in situations where we should have learned lessons.
Trust me, I know now.
All right. Well, I feel like I've only really been in one toxic relationship. And honestly, looking back, I mean, it was toxic, but it just was weird. So basically, this person was just a rude person in general, but in a comedic way. So you couldn't always tell if that's if he was trying to be funny. But I just remember several circumstances where he would say something to me or embarrass me, and I'd be like, why are you acting like that? Because when like you said, when it's good, right? And so I'm thinking like, why he doing it? Why he treat me like that? Blah blah blah. And it got to the point where I really had to realize like this man does not like me, and I don't know why we in a relationship. But it just was one of those things. For about a year and a half, I spent a lot of time trying to convince him that I was a good person to be with, and I always was a good person, but I shouldn't have had to prove that to nobody. And he knew that as well, but he just was entertaining me still. All these, and this was my first time really in what I thought was a serious relationship. So I'm thinking it's just how it go. Like, hey, don't you see? Like, look, I'm a good woman. I do these things. I do this. I do that. I offer all this, and I'm buying you gifts, and we going on all the best dates you could possibly think of. And it's just me trying to prove myself to him, trying to kind of like trying to be accepted for my own man.
Yeah.
When in reality, it was never going to be that. Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know better. And I really have never really gone to people for relationship advice. So in my mind, I'm just thinking like, you know what? Stay down. You know what I'm saying? He don't do this, this, and that. So just, ride it out. But really, that's what it was. It was very short lived. And it's so crazy now looking back. I really thought a year and a half was a lot of time invested in a relationship. And honey, that's if you can exceed a year, then you good. In a lot of cases, with that situation, it's like that ain't nothing, girl. Get the year passed next. You know what I'm saying? But when you young, I was like 21, 22, you really be thinking that stuff gonna be all in for life. It's so crazy and foolish to think that. And not saying that you can't be in a relationship at that age and it be forever, but it's not likely. And it's honestly not fair to you to expect that or to be looking for that.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. I had to learn what a good man was about and what he looked like, how to identify him, and who, and what kind of man to entertain. Because I just really used to be sold on that as long as he not cheating thing, and that's not fair whatsoever. Now I will, I was in a situationship that I don't want to say it was toxic. It just was one of those things where I was very green, huh?
It was toxic.
You think so?
Yeah.
I guess I don't remember, but I think, and the reason why I even say that is because I was very green at one point in my life where I thought everybody wanted to be in a relationship, and so I would carry on with whatever he say, like, oh, I ain't ready for no relationship right now, just stay down, shout it, and I'm gonna get there, you know what I'm saying, look out for you. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I accepted this in my head, like, okay, it's cool. I'm just gonna keep being a good girl, a good woman. And then of course you have other women who coming out talking about, oh, this and that. You start putting two and two together, and I mean, that's why you think it was toxic.
Only because you had drama with him and y'all wasn't together.
Yeah, I used to be like, I got boyfriend drama. I ain't even got no boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was toxic as hell.
I guess for me, when I see things like when I think about this thing with Saweetie and a lot of situations I've seen other women in where they really be like cussing each other out, cussing out, talking about their mama, calling them pussy and weak. Like to me, I would never do that. And that's not me trying to be a pick me. But to me, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, maybe I ain't been in that bad of a relationship because good Lord. But people really do be boxing their partner out and cussing them out and try to minimize them. I just think that's very insane.
Now I've never gotten into a fight, like a physical fight with any of the people that I was dating, but I did have this situation that ended because we were talking and he came back in town and I had to go get him from the airport. Well, he asked me to, so I picked him up. He got back, he landed and he was hungry, and at this time, like, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, okay, well, figure out what you want to eat, because I'm not finna waste no gas. I'm not finna just be driving around to whatever. Just let me know what you want to eat. I'll let you know the options that's in the area, because we were in my apartment, and we can just go from there. He started throwing a tantrum so bad to the point where, like, I used to collect sneakers. I still do kind of, but I used to be really, 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 really into collecting sneakers. So I tried to copy Wish's little idea and get bookshelves and use the bookshelves as shoe racks.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that in my living room, and this boy started taking my shoes off the shoe rack and throwing them at me.
Oh no. Oh no.
All because he was hungry.
He was hangry. That's crazy. That's very childish. See, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, I swear to God, I'm gonna play it cool and all that before so the situation can end, and you will not hear from me again. Stuff like that to me is scary. And I think about times I've been talking to dudes, and I've never had my hands put on, but it's definitely times where I can be like, if he get mad enough, he definitely gonna swing on me. And I'd be scared. I don't like that.
Yeah, like,
have you ever fought in public? Like got into an argument in public?
Yeah, this one time I had left your house when we was leaving. It was on Valentine's Day, and I don't know where we went, but I don't know where I was living at actually.
And where was I living?
Park Greenbrier.
Oh, this is a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, so I left. I went and got Subway from Greenbrier, and I got on the bus and I was leaving. I don't know if I was going to my sister's house maybe I was going home. I definitely was living in Stone Mountain if you was living in Park Greenbrier.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, long story short, I got on the bus and this one guy who I was dating recently at the time, we broke up on some real like just crazy stuff, but it was like one of those high school relationships where y'all only talked on the phone. Y'all never went on a date. You know how they go.
Yeah, you really be thinking like, dang, it's the one.
So I got off the train station and you know, like if you catch the bus in front of Park and Greenbrier, you, you can either go towards Lakewood or you can go towards East Point train station. So I got on the other side and I went to East Point train station. When I got off the bus, he was getting on the bus.
Now he stayed in my neighborhood.
Nah, he was going to see somebody because he had flowers and chocolate. It was Valentine's Day. And
he won't come to see me.
The soda just ended up on him. I had a cherry Coke. And
I don't blame you though, honestly.
Yeah, we got into it at the train station. Then we almost got locked up. I lied and said I was underage. I said I was 16 and I was really 19 or 18. I lied and said I was underage and that I was from New Orleans. I had came here because of Katrina, and
what the Okay, keep going.
I lied and said I was 16 years old, didn't have an ID, and I came here from New Orleans, and I'm only here because of Katrina with my family, and they allowed me to go home because otherwise, if I said I was 18, I was going to go to jail.
For fighting at the train station? Dang, that's crazy. I feel like every time I had an opportunity to argue in public, I just used to get quiet because I don't like that embarrassment, man. And that one toxic relationship I had, he used to embarrass me. And I'm just thinking back, like, I just used to be like, all right, okay, all right.
I'm so glad that this over.
What?
That relationship. At the time, I didn't even think it was that bad though, because I think that you used to be like, you actually really liked him. So
it was very one-sided. And the gag is I didn't even like him at first. Ain't that a trip? You mean to tell me that we ain't like each other? And you ain't oh my God. But anyway, all right. Yeah, I really did like him, but I just didn't know better either, man. I just didn't know, growing up, I always knew I didn't like street dudes. And so I would just stay away from them kind of dudes. And so when I would meet a guy that wasn't from the streets, I would automatically assume that he's a nice guy and that he was a good guy as far as relationship wise. So if I meet a guy and he seems to check off these boxes, I would just go with it. But yeah, I just tried to make it work. I just really tried to make it work. And it's just it's so crazy what it's just, okay. It's funny when you think about each year of your life in certain situations, you really think at that point that you had it all figured out for the most part, but that's just where your knowledge was limited at. But then after a situation, it's like, it takes situations like that to really know who you are and what you want, because what I want today is pretty much what I wanted then. I just didn't think it was realistic or obtainable. And so I would get these little, first of all, I shouldn't expect, listen, and I want to teach my kids this if I have any, just listen. You know how they tell you, look, you too young to be dating, enjoy your life. I need them to break it down. Why? Because you actually don't know what you're doing. And it's okay to be in a serious situation, but just don't count on this to be your forever, because 9 times out of 10, it won't be. Like, just have fun, literally, like go on dates, meet people, hang with your friends, but like putting your all into it and expecting a 19, 20, 21-year-old man to do right by you is not realistic or fair. So it's like, I didn't think that. I when I was 21, I thought time to find my husband, because in my mind in high school, I'm like, by 25, I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna have a house, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna be in my career. And that's just not realistic. It might have happened for somebody, but it definitely wasn't happening for me, and it was never in the cards for it to happen. And here I am, 32, and I'm just now really thinking about having kids and getting married. It's like, you just kind of got to take the expectations off yourself and stop making everything so serious, because that's how people be having those young toxic relationships. It's like you be, because I think women, we not necessarily grown, but we're raised to kind of want those things, want marriage, want this, want that. While men, for what it seems, they're taught this independence. So we have even in high school relationships, you have this serious expectations, these gifts, and all this stuff from a man who don't even brush his teeth 2 times a day or take a bath when he's supposed to. So it's just like, it's just backwards.
I think for me, growing up, or just dating in general, just my experience with dating, after a while, especially after my last real relationship, I felt like I needed to date somebody that came from the hood or that could relate to me from the hood, because the people that I've dated before, they didn't really come from the hood, and I always just felt judged, especially in my last relationship. And so I don't like feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't consider myself just the most hoodest person walking around, but I do know that I know where I'm from. I know what I sound like. I know what I'm into. I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just a product of how I grew up, but that doesn't mean that I'm stupid or I don't know anything or I'm not smart or I'm not capable of learning new things or being exposed to different things or have already been exposed to stuff. Because like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, even though I didn't, I had a hard time in high school at one point, but I remember my mom like sending me away to a camp in North Carolina, like a freaking biology camp and stuff like that. I talk different. I understand that. Like, I don't have the same dialect as somebody that grew up in the suburbs, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But me trying to find somebody that's I guess hood or from the hood that could understand me does not work out, because you see what happened the last time.
Well, that's what I used to want. I used to think like corporate thug, literally, but I don't mean thug, literally. I just mean hood enough to have made it out and still have the same kind of perspective as me. But in reality, that's very narrow.
Yeah. And I realize that now. So now I'm just kind of going with the flow and just trying things out, because I feel like I'm blocking my own blessings by boxing myself in onto what I think that I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
can understand that. I mean, it's like you
But
do want to be attracted to the person, but I do think you can restrict yourself with certain expectations. But don't let that lead to you settling, because I remember I used to have these expectations, and I was with a person, and he didn't really check a lot of them, but I convinced myself that those things were maybe not superstitious. Those things were superficial, and then I end up realizing I should have been superficial.
dang.
It's complicated, man. I just feel like if you meet somebody and like it's just I don't know, man. I think you should absolutely have a wish list, but it's so complex because it's like it's just not likely that somebody will check all the marks. There are some things that you will realize are not as important, but there's nothing wrong with having that list though, because you don't want to, if you
Yeah,
like
for sure. Like, I definitely have standards, and I definitely have like things that I'm definitely not settling for. But at the same time, I have to allow people to be human beings, and I have to allow myself to just stop being so judgmental, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. I'm literally judging people without knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm having high standards on certain things, but in reality, I'm like, I can't be like that. Like, I can't just prejudge people before whatever.
Yeah, I definitely have in like years ago, I've definitely met dudes and curved them instantaneously and then look back and being like, dang, I probably should have gave him a chance.
Not me, girl. I just play.
Well, no, I don't mean like it might be something like he might be too suburban, because that really used to be a huge turn off. Jesus Christ. But but that wasn't a time where I had not been exposed to that enough. So just like people might hear us talk and think we're not intelligent, I would hear people like them and think that they think they better than me. So it's just like I don't want to be with nobody like that. And I still kind of struggle with that a little bit, but it's just like, huh?
I said me too.
So yes, I just think that you just kind of gotta, it's easier said than done. I think you just kind of at least have a conversation with people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just completely marking them off. But I think that that's the point. That's why it's so important to be friends with somebody first, because there's nothing holding you or obligating you. But a lot of times people just move faster than they should because they get excited, and then you skip over the important stuff. And that was a reading by Maya Angelou.
Like the blood pressure.
From a Black woman.
Eating pork her whole life.
Well, all right. I think that was a good discussion. What you think?
It is. It just also made me realize that I got a long way to go in this dating world, to be honest. And I'm not mad at it. I mean,
dating is just hard, man. It is. It's like you've got to find one person out there that you like and it's gonna make you happy, and you got to basically test it out and there might be a potential of heartbreak and toxicity, and you won't know that until you give it a chance. Who want to do that?
Yeah. I need a maybe I'm gonna start having like first dates to therapists.
Okay, no, I don't know about that. But maybe, I don't know, man. I don't even have a rule because I've only had 2 quote unquote good relationships, and I've had about 4 or 5 altogether. And I mean, I will subject those to age. Like being anything before 25 was a joke. I thought it was serious, but it really wasn't.
I've had all my relationships were good. They just ended in really weird ways every time. That's the thing. Like, I'm very grateful for the people that I used to date, and I'm cool with all of them for the most part.
Hold on now. I don't know about all
The
that.
people that I actually had relationships with, I have like speaking relationships with them. Like, I can speak to them online, or I can speak to them when I go out. It's not like I just kiki with them all the time, but
See, my problem, no mind.
I feel you.
Out of sight, out of mind, baby.
Hey, I know, I already know. But I think that I've just learned to just really, I have a really forgiving spirit these days. Like, I hold grudges. I used to hold grudges really bad, but I think that now I realize that I can't really move forward and grow into a different person as long as I hold grudges. Like, I need to learn to forgive people, but I don't have to fuck with them.
Trying the same thing out, getting the same results, expecting different results is insanity. Don't be insane.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, that wraps our episode of OD Podcast. If y'all didn't already realize, we are no longer on SoundCloud. And if you hear this right now, it's because you never used it to begin with. It's interesting because I've been noticing a lot of podcasts peeling away from SoundCloud. I think that just made an easier entryway initially, but there's so many platforms now. I just found something a little bit more seamless, a lot more seamless, and way cheaper. So hallelujah. Yeah, that's what's going on. Let us know if you have any topic suggestions. Send us an email at listenodp@gmail.com. Yeah, that's it.
Now, what's up? I love the fact that we recorded in 2 different time zones right now. I don't know why I think that's so cool.
Yeah, heck yeah, it's 2021. People was recording remotely before that too, which is funny, but COVID kind of really reintroduced the idea of doing stuff like this.
I gotta go eat. I gotta find me some
What
food.
you finna eat, Benny Bot's child?
Either that or I'm getting that shrimp burrito again on the truck.
I can't do burritos. They're just too messy and big. And
listen, this shrimp burrito, I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna get both.
Send me a picture. Let me see what it look like.
I sure will.
All right, bye.
Bye.